All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So this week we are going to be talking about sharing the opportunity, specifically playing a sponsoring game or sponsoring commercial at your parties. So there isn't too much information to go over with this one. It's really pretty straightforward and pretty standard stuff. But so since you're a brand new consultant, or if you're a brand new consultant, what you should know is that you should always be playing a sponsoring game or sponsoring commercial at every single party that you do. So just like we talked about in a previous Zoom meeting, that you always want to be playing a booking commercial because that's what's going to continue to grow your business and continue to get you parties booked from parties. You always want to be playing some sort of a sponsoring game or sponsoring commercial at your parties because that is going to be what helps you to continue growing your team. And we all know that growing your team and sharing the opportunity with other women is where you're going to be able to make the most money because you're helping the most women, right? The more people you help, the more successful you're going to be. So the COO actually has an entire section all about sponsoring games or sponsoring commercials. If you go to the training tab and then select all about the party, then select effective party games, and then select sponsored commercials. And there are so many different ones on there that you can just kind of pick and choose and see what works best with your personality, what works best with your party flow. Like, there is no right or wrong way to do it. So the whole point of like the sponsoring game is really to help plant those seeds and help you to identify who is the most interested in the business. Pick one that that you really like or that fits or works for you and stick with it. Give it, like, I think we talked about this in a previous Zoom too. I'm not sure which one exactly, but give it about 6 parties for you to really see if this is an effective game for you, if it's working the way you want it to, if it's helping you to identify who your recruit leads are. And after the 6 parties, do an assessment. Do you feel like you're getting more, you're able to identify more women who are interested in the business? Are you able to add more women to your team playing this game? If the answer is no to either of those, then okay, that's all right. You gave it a shot. Like, it's try a different game. So there's like so many. So again, it's not one size fits all. There's no right or wrong way. Just do what works for you. So we're going to talk about 3 different ones, which are actually going to be really good options for you to start off with as a brand new consultant. So, if you've only been in business, a little while, a couple weeks maybe, you probably don't know all there is to know about the company, about the compensation plan, about trips and prizes and all of that, which is fine, right? Because the longer you're in business, the more you're going to become familiar with those things. And I do highly recommend that you, look at the IRG, which is the Incentive Requirements Guide. That's basically your business Bible. It's going to talk about not only all the do's and don'ts of business and what you can and can't do as a consultant, but it also lays out, the compensation plan. It lays out how you make money. It lays out the trips and the prizes and how you earn them and how you're able to, earn things from corporate. So all that information is in there. Let's see. Oh, and reading that information is what's going to help you to be able to answer questions confidently, right? So a confident consultant is a successful consultant. And the way that you're going to become confident is by familiarizing yourself with all the information, about the company, about the products, about, how people make money, because the people that you come in contact with that are interested in the business, they're going to want to know these things. So it's helpful for you to familiarize yourself with this information so that when they ask you these questions, you can just answer, right off the bat. You don't feel like you're like, I don't know how to answer this question. Like, the answer and you can give them the answer. And it's okay if you don't know the answer. Just like starting off, that's totally fine. We all start from the same place of not knowing things about the business. So if you're like, I don't know, it's okay to be like, what, I'm not really sure. I'm going to find out. Let me get your information so that way, as soon as I do find out, I can pass that information along to you. And having their information, like, that's going to be able to keep you, in connection with them, so that way when they are ready to sign up and become a consultant, they're going to join your team and not somebody else's. So let me go ahead and pull up these 3 games so that I can talk about them. And like I said, they're all in the COO, but I know Effective party games. So the three sponsoring games that we're going to talk about are the 8 questions game, the romance game, or Rosie romance game, and the what you got in your purse game, right? So these 3 are really great options to start off with because it comes with the answers. So if you're not sure how to answer questions or you're too nervous to just do some off the cuff, sponsoring game where people are asking you any question that pops into their head because you're not sure, you're going to have the answers for it, then go with one of these 3 because the answers are already pre-made out for you. All you have to do is read them off or, look them up or have them on your phone or print it on note cards or however you want to do it, all right? So the first one we're going to talk about is Rosie Romance, and this is really fun for people who like to have like an interactive game. You're actually going to want 2 volunteers for this game. You're going to want to get some play money. You can get it from like the dollar store or probably can get it from Amazon. I actually just printed mine out. Let's see. I printed out fake money, or well, I drew it up. You want to see my fake money? So I just cut out little pieces of paper and I wrote the numbers on there. See, 100. So these are like supposed to be represent $100 bills or like $100. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, a paper clip. I was looking for one of those the other day. Let's see. Oh, so this is supposed to represent like $10, more $100. Right. Okay. So yeah, so you can just print it out and like make it up on your own. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. There's one right here. Okay. So, but they recommend you're gonna want 100s and 20s totaling $1,840 in like 2 small gifts. And the 2 small gifts, seriously, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can make it. Actually, let me grab this really quick. You can make it be a little sponsoring packet, right? A little recruit packet. This is what my recruit leads get in the shopping room when they're like, oh, like, do you have any information for me to go home with? They get one of these. This is a goodie bag. I got these little treat bags from the dollar store. It's like 30 of them for $1. And inside, oh, this is stapled shut. Do I have any that are open? Probably not. Well, it's okay. So inside is, oh my goodness. Inside is a kit flyer, there's a one sheet has the picture like of the different kits and their prices, and the other side has like a breakdown of some numbers, how much money they would make in a week, in a month, in a year, doing the average party. And then the other thing, I don't even remember what I put in here. This is terrible, isn't it? Oh, is the did you know sponsoring sheet. Oh, actually I might be able to, yeah, look at this. Oh. Right, so here's what this looks like, right? So this side has this. And what I did is I just took, because the kit sale, because we have kit sales all the time. So what I did is I just took the half of the value of what the kit is, and I, factored in tax and shipping. And so when they get this, I'm going to tell them, by the way, like the prices that are on this, the kits are actually on sale for less than that right? So that way, I don't have to keep updating it. And then, like I said, there's like the breakdown of the numbers. And this is all from the COO. Like I got this from my consultant website. So I went to pureromance.com/Andrea Brown Riley, #starter kits, pulled up a picture, saved it to my computer, put it on here, and just posted it in Word. And then this, actually I can upload this to our group. I don't know what I'm doing. I can upload this to our group. And then this one, I believe, is already in the files. This is the Did You Know? And it's just a bunch of really fun facts. 87% of Pure Romance consultants work their business part-time, about 6 hours a week. You can make $200 to $500 profit from one Pure Romance party, working about 4 hours. Just a bunch of little facts about being a Pure Romance consultant. So, so this, and then a foil pack, your business card, and like maybe a piece of candy, right? And so you just have 2 of these to give to your guests as gifts for volunteering to participate in your sponsoring game. Okay, so you want the play money, you want the 2 small gifts, which can be this. One of them is going to be Molly Mall, the other one is going to be Rosie Romance. And you can make it so like Molly Mall is like working at her favorite store. So ask her like, what's your favorite store to go shopping at? And Okay, that's where you work. And it breaks down the instructions of how much Rosie Romance makes working the same amount of time as Molly Mall, right? And what they're going to see is that Rosie Romance at the end of the game has more money than Molly Mall does for doing the exact same amount of work. So this is a really great game for the girls who want to like see the money, right? They're very visual and they're holding it in their hands and they're like, oh my gosh, like she has all this and I have this. And so, you know, for doing the same amount of work. So it really kind of puts it into perspective for them to see how much money that, you know, consultants can make doing this, just doing a few parties a month. So that one is a really great game because, you know, it doesn't require any questions. You don't really necessarily have to have any answers to anything. But if you want to play an actual game afterwards where they're asking you questions, then you can do the 8 questions game. Let's see, let me pull that up. Okay, so the 8 questions game is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. There are 8 questions. These are like the most commonly asked questions, and then there's an answer to each of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 8 envelopes. Inside each envelope is going to be a different question. And so you, at the beginning of the party or like before you play the game, everybody gets an envelope and numbered 1 through 8. Or, I mean, they don't really have to be numbered as long as you know like which answer corresponds with which question. And they just take turns asking the question, you know, reading the card that's inside their envelope, and then you have the answers already pre-made for you. So you can just print those out. And then there's 2 parts to this game. It's the 8 questions and 4 questions game. And the 4 questions are going to be the questions you ask them afterwards. And the 4 questions are, you know, tell me about you. Back up. So the 4 questions they're actually writing down on their Customer Connect form or their order form, their catalog, whatever it is that you're going to be able to collect from them. So that way you have it as a reference. So it's tell me about you. Are you a stay-at-home mom, teacher, student? What do you do for a living? Tell me about you. Number 2 is if you had an extra $800 a month, what would you do with it? And they can't pay bills, right? And number 3 is based on what you've heard here tonight, what do you think the best part of my business is, or what part of my business appeals to you the most? And number 4 is if I could show you, teach you, train you, and help you earn that extra $800 or more, would you like to hear more? Now, number 4, different consultants phrase it differently. When I do it, I say, all right, number 4 only has 2 possible answers, yes or maybe, because no is negative, and I don't need that negativity in my life. All right, but if I could show you, teach you, train you, and help you make that extra $800 or more a month, would you like to hear more? Yes or maybe, right? So if they're like, oh, no, not really, like, you know, they're just going to put maybe, and that's fine. And you would instruct them to do that. Like, you know, okay, if the answer is no, just put maybe, that's fine. Some consultants will say, you know, put yes or maybe, and if you're no, absolutely not, just put a smiley face, because we all need some positivity in our lives, right? So that way when you're looking at the customer connection card later, you don't have like this no, it's just a smiley face, it's happy. So yeah, and so you can play that, you know, I mean, you can play that with any number of people. The questions are already pre-made for you. The answers are already there for you. So it's a really great, easy game for brand new consultants. All right. And then what you got in your purse? This one's fun. I have not played this one yet, but I think I want to because every time I come across it, I'm like, man, this would be really, really fun. So what you're going to do is super easy. You can use raffle tickets or the date night card game. I love using the date night card game instead of raffle tickets because you're demoing the product, right? They're getting the product in their hands. They're looking at it without you actually like demoing the product. So it's super easy. Plus, because they turn the cards back into you at the end of the party, it's not something you have to keep rebuying and rebuying and rebuying. So another fun trick that you can do with the date night cards is a little bit off topic, is use them as free samples. So when you're making up your goodie bags, like if you want to make up goodie bags to pass out to strangers or, you know, people that you meet, the foil packs do make great samples, but they're like 50, 75 cents a pop. So those get really expensive if you're doing a lot of goodie bags. So what I like to do is I put like 2 date night cards into the goodie bag instead of a foil pack. So they're still getting a free sample of the products. Sometimes I'll even spray the Truly Sexy Flirt perfume in there, or, you know, Kiss in there as well. So they're really sampling 2 products, right? They're sampling one of our fragrances and they're sampling the date night card, just a foreplay game. So, but yeah, so I like to use the date night cards instead of raffle tickets, but either will work just fine. So there is a list of letters. So you would come under the COO, it has all the letters and what they each stand for, right? So you can have these printed out to reference on a little card or on your phone, whatever. And what you're gonna do is go down the list and you're gonna call it the letter. And for each letter, the girls have to go through their purse and pull out something in their purse that starts with that letter. And then, you know, the first person to do it earns a card or a raffle ticket. And then when she gets her ticket, you're going to explain what that letter stands for. So just a quick rundown of it. There's B, S, E, T, I, M, K, F, and then bonus for tiebreaker, which is W. So if you have a tie, W is going to be the tiebreaker, okay? And each letter stands for different things. So B would be your own boss. S is schedule, set your own schedule, set your own hours. E is education, you know, training and support opportunities. T is trips. I is insurance. Guys, we get insurance. Bet you didn't know that. We get discounted insurance. M is money. K is kit sale. So you would talk about whatever kit sale is going on, you know, at the time. F is freedom, and then W is write-offs, right? And then whoever has the most tickets or date night cards at the end of the game wins a little prize. Could be bragging rights, could be a small discount off of a product. Did I say foil packs? Yeah. So and that's usually what I do. Those are my go-to like prizes for games. Is either a foil pack or I will do 10% off their most expensive item in the shopping room. And if I give them a foil pack, I say, all right, you can keep this little travel size or you can trade it into me in the shopping room and I'm going to give you 10% off the full-size bottle, full-size product, whatever. All right? So let's see here. Let me pull my notes. Okay. So, okay. So as you get more familiar with the business and as you get more familiar with the IRG, which is the Incentive Requirements Guide, you might feel more comfortable transitioning from one of these, you know, like pre-answered sponsoring commercials to, you know, more free form when I do Ask Me Anything, but I've been in business for over 4 years. So I feel really comfortable answering whatever question comes up. And the way I play, I will play one of two ways depending on time and materials and how many girls there are. So the one way I will play it is I'll either set a timer and they will earn date night cards, or I will just pull out 10 date night cards and they will ask me the question. So the way I explain it, I say, all right, ladies, so we've been talking about the product. Now this is going to be your opportunity for you to ask me as many questions as you want to know about my job, my business, not about my business, not that kind of party, but about my business as a consultant. So you can ask me anything that you would like to know about my job. You can ask me how much money I make. You can ask me how I get started. You can ask me what kind of training there is. You can ask me if there's any minimums. You can ask me about how I do my taxes. You can ask me about free product. You can ask me about, you know, anything that you want to know about my business. The only thing you can't ask me is about the products, because I promise I will answer product questions in the shopping room, right? The only catch to this is that there's only 10 cards to earn. You know, so once all the cards are gone, they're gone. Or the only catch to this game is that there's only 3 minutes for you to ask as many questions as you want. You know, so whichever way I'm playing it. So the reason I explain it that way to them is, one, I don't want them asking questions about the products because this is not a product game. This is a sponsoring game. This is for them to learn about the business, not about the products, because we've been doing that all night. And they're gonna, you know, have the chance to ask me more questions in the shopping room about the products. But you notice that I gave examples of questions that they can ask. And those are usually the questions that I want them to ask. And that's why I throw them out there. A lot of times, if you're like, okay, you can ask me any question you want, like, because it's just so wide open, a lot of times you get people just sitting there, they're like, I don't know what to ask. I know I had a question, I don't know what it is now, right? So by throwing out those example questions, like, that gets them thinking, and they're like, oh yeah, like I would like to know that. Please tell me more about that. The other thing too, if like nobody is asking you questions, and I've done this before, like, because sometimes you just get a really quiet crowd, or if it's like a small group of people, you know, you only get 2 or 3 girls at the party, sometimes they run out of questions, they can't think of any. So I will just give them tickets. I'll be like, oh, Sally wants to know how much the kits are, you know, today. That's a great question, Sally. And I'll just go over to her and give her a card and answer the questions, and I'll just kind of bounce back and forth between them. Or if somebody hasn't asked me anything, she's usually the one that I pick on. you know, because she's, you know, the quiet girl. So, you know, I want to give her a chance to win some free stuff too. So yeah, so that's and that's Ask Me Anything. That's what that's called, the version that I play. And I still do the 4 questions at the end as well, because that's going to help narrow down what their needs are with the business, or what their needs are, and how Pure Romance can help meet those needs for them as a business opportunity. And we talked about that in a previous Zoom, and we'll probably come back around to it as well. But you know, when it comes to offering the opportunity, it's all about helping them meet their needs, right? It's not about you, it's about them and what they're looking for with the Pure Romance opportunity. And so helping her to see how Pure Romance can help her meet those needs. All right. Let's see. So we talked about the IRG. So that is your business Bible. You know, make sure that you are reading it and you're familiarizing yourself with it. You should be, you know, flipping through every, I would say 6 to 8 months. You know, we get a new one every single year because they update policies every single year. But, you know, flip through it and open it. I'll probably do some like maybe IRG videos for you guys if you want. Because I know, again, everybody learns differently. Me, I can read that whole thing. I sit down for 40 minutes, just flip through, read it, boom, I'm done, I'm good to go. But I know not everybody has that kind of attention span. Not everybody can sit there and read, was it 34 pages of corporate company policy. I know that sounds like totally boring for some people. So I might just go through and just do some videos for you guys to help you guys understand it better, or help you, you know, absorb it in the best way that you learn. All right, so let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah, so here's another thing too. So when it comes to sponsoring games, so as you become more comfortable with, you know, with what the company is about, and, you know, the different things that, you know, people want to know, and as you get more comfortable with your particular sponsoring game that you're doing, you might want to like combine some of them. You know, maybe that fits your personality more. For example, there is, let's see, like the lap game and Ask Me Anything, or the lap game and 8 questions. And actually, you know, I talked about that earlier, I think too, like the What You Got in Your Purse game, or not What You Got in Your Purse, like Rosy Romance, followed by like the 8 questions game. All right, so depending on, you know, again, your style, what you're comfortable with, you know, the crowd, you know, you might kind of tweak it and do things a little bit different. But the key really is to find one that you feel most comfortable with, most confident with, and just stick with it and do it consistently, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Consistency is really going to be your best friend in this business, right? So I want to point out a few key phrases. Well, yeah, so a few things, you know, to highlight. So the 4 questions. So whatever sponsoring game that you are playing, the 4 questions afterwards are key, like the 4 questions. And I'll recap those again, right? So it's, tell me about yourself. What do you do? You know, are you a domestic diva? Do you work outside the home? You're a teacher, astronaut, astrophysicist? Like, what is it that you do? I would love for somebody to put like something cool like that on there. I do have one client who is a, oh shoot, she's a she does like, oh shoot, like genetic biology or neuroscience or something really cool like that. Yeah, so that's really cool. But anyway, so question 1, tell me about yourself. What do you do? Question number 2, if you had an extra $800 a month, no strings attached, what would you do with that $800 a month? Can't be spent on bills. Number 3, after hearing what you've heard tonight about my business, what is the coolest thing? Like, what excites you the most about my business? And number 4, if I could show you, teach you, you know, help you earn that extra $800 a month, would you be interested in more information? Yes, no, or yes or maybe. Yes, maybe, your smiley face. Yeah, so make sure those 4 questions, regardless of what sponsoring game you're playing, you always make sure that you come back to those 4 questions. All right, and then another key phrase is, you know, who here would like to know more about my business? You know, just to kind of segue into your sponsoring game. And oh, I guess I didn't even talk about that. So when are you gonna play your sponsoring game? Right, good question. So I think most consultants play it right after they do like the liquid, so bath beauty, foreplay, lingerie, massage, all that. And then right before they get to the toys, they'll do their sponsoring commercial right in the middle. Some consultants will actually play it throughout their demonstration. So for the what you got your purse game, like you can play that throughout your demo. So as you're demoing the products, right? And then you're gonna just shout out a letter, and they're gonna rummage around through their purse and find something. Or, I mean, another twist that you can play on it is they can yell out, you know, a dirty or sexy or naughty word that starts with that letter. And that could be really fun too. So, you know, just you can have fun with it, like tweak it, like see what works for you. But yeah, and then some consultants will play it at the very, very end. I've had to play it at the very, very end. Like if my party flow kind of gets thrown out of whack, sometimes these things happen. You know, you can never anticipate what interesting thing is going to happen at a party. Sometimes strange things happen. So, you know, again, just find what works best for you, what you feel most comfortable with. You know, do what comes naturally to you and fit it in with your party flow. So tonight's assignment, and just as a reminder too, so you're going to find all these sponsoring games on the COO. You're going to go to training. You're going to scroll down to all about the party. You're going to select effective party games, which is on the left, I believe, and then sponsoring commercials, which is also like it drops down on the left there. And it's going to have the whole list of all the different sponsored commercials. So just click through, see what speaks to you, see what you feel is going to be easiest for you to do and for you to remember how to do, and then go for it, like do it. So your assignment for this week is going to be to select a sponsoring game that you're going to play at your upcoming parties, post which one you're going to play in the group so we can see. And if you do have a party coming up, if it's your launch party, if it's your encore party, if it's a hostess party, make sure you play that game, right? So this is going to be your bonus. Play that game and then come back into the group and tell us how it went, right? So we want to know how it went for you. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Hopefully this was some helpful information. If you have questions, go ahead and, you know, post them in the group. You can message me individually. I'm here to answer all your questions. But yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.